What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So today, like I told you, I'm going to be working on something that's, I don't want to say different because we've been kind of working on these a little bit lately, but what we're doing is going to be different. So, as you guys know, I've had this New Edge parts car for a few months now, and I've been parting it out. As you saw in the last video, I took the hood and the bumper off of it to put on my girlfriend's car. And I've sold a couple parts off this car. As you can see, the rear's missing, the seats are missing, taillights are missing. So there's some parts missing off of this thing. Now, what I want to do, it's been done before, so I'm not trying to sit here and say that, you know, I'm the first one to do this, whatever. But it's the first time I'm doing it. And I want to do it because, as you guys know, Chris has the mud truck. The big old lifted Escalade. Now, I've gone with him to PA. As you saw, that's when my truck broke and stuff. We had a blast going overlanding and stuff, and I'm sure some of you guys are already guessing where I'm getting at. Basically, what I want to do, matter of fact, I'll just show you real quick. So what I have here is a 285/70/17 all-terrain tire, possibly a mud tire, I'm not 100% sure, but it's an off-road tire. And as you can see, it just barely fits in the wheel well. So what my plan is to put bigger springs, bigger front springs, some adjustable control arms, and lift this thing. It's still gonna be two-wheel drive. It's still gonna be, you know, basically just a Mustang. I'm not doing no frame swap or anything like that. But if you look, it fits in the wheel wells. So I'm gonna take the side skirts and all that kind of stuff off of this, probably trim the bumper, maybe not even have a rear bumper, but we'll see. So that's my general idea. Now, I would love to get it this high. I'm not 100% sure if we're gonna be able to. I'm gonna get it as high as I possibly can with the control arms, with the coilovers, with the coil springs, with everything that I have available here is what I'm gonna do. So I'm not gonna buy anything. I have tires. I have some like all-terrain tires I could use. I have wheels. I have some old cheap coilovers, and basically just have some free fun. This car is completely rotted out. As you can see, it's rusted here. It's rusted on the other side, and it's also rusted on the front some. Now we'll weld some stuff on there just to make it safe enough and go from there. But I'm gonna take anything that I could possibly make a couple dollars on off of this and put dented, messed up parts, because there's really no point of ruining brand new parts. I mean, this is my livelihood, is parting out cars, selling Mustang parts and all that kind of stuff. So there's really no point of messing it up. Plus, if I have good parts on the car, I might not go as hard as I would really want to if I have parts I don't care about on it. So, as you guys saw, this is Sandy's old hood off her Mustang. Then I have the messed up bumper that's ripped right there off of her Mustang that's gonna go in the front. Now, I don't know if we're gonna keep it multicolored. I think what we're probably gonna do is just spray paint it with whichever color we decide. I mean, we could go white, we could go black, we could go lime green, we could go red. It don't really matter. Whatever, we could go gold, honestly. But this was an idea when, if you guys saw the last video, this is an idea when Wes was here and Alex and everybody was here, and we were like, dude, let's lift a Mustang. Why not? Like, we have almost everything to do it. Let's just try to do it. Like, it'll happen. I don't know how well it's gonna work, but it'll be cool. And, you know, Chris has the Escalade, which is fine, but, you know, we have to take turns. We don't have to take turns if I have a vehicle. Plus, this thing will be fun to just rip around the property and just have fun. So that's what we're gonna do. We were originally gonna do this to the blue convertible Cobra. We were gonna take the top off of it and all of that. But once we started looking at it, we realized we would have had to put the thing all back together. This one, fortunately, still has the motor. I have a transmission. I just got to throw it back in there. It's missing a couple things, but nothing that is going to stop it from running. So everything's still hooked up. Even the AC, the heat, all that's still hooked up. I mean, we'll probably have to do some fabricating to make this, you know, not just suck up water, because we'll probably run no wheel wells because of the tire and the wheel travel and stuff. You know, it's got headlights, which that's cool, whatever. We're thinking about maybe mounting a winch, because obviously this thing's 2-wheel drive. It's going to get stuck. So we'll weld some D-rings onto the front, possibly mount a winch. That would be sick. And then maybe like a skid plate on the front. I know a lot of like overlanding guys or free runner guys, whatever it's called, they have those big skid plates on the front. And my brain and Wes's brain we were like, well, if we put one of those and it's flat with no holes, obviously don't block the radiator. But in theory, if it's a big water hole, we just floor it and essentially just skim across. So that's our thoughts. So, I mean, this could be a total failure, but either way, we want to try it, because why not? So we're going to do this. I actually have a rear to put in this. I have a gas tank because the fuel pump is bad in this. If you guys remember, I said that this is the reason why, besides the rust, the fuel pump went bad. So I have a gas tank with a good fuel pump. I have a rear. I have a transmission, and I have every body panel. I do have these max speeding rod coilovers that, again, I know I've been doing a lot of coilovers in the last few videos and whatever, but these were on Wes's old drift car, and I raised them as high as I possibly could, and we're going to see if it gives us the lift that we want. If it doesn't, I'm going to have to try to make something to see. But, you know, let's get them on there first before saying it's not going to work, because I would love to have that much wheel gap, if not more, with big tires. So let's get started. All right, so what I had to start with, so when I sold the rear, I had the control arms still in here, and they were just the stock ones, as you can see here, just the stock uppers. The rear ones were actually seized in the rear, and we ended up just cutting the control arm, which isn't a big deal. So I had to get those out of the way, because I have these HPM, not sponsored or anything, but I have these HPM adjustable control arms. As you can see, they have Heims and stuff. And my theory behind this is, when you raise a vehicle, especially one of these with the 4 links, when you raise it, the wheels actually start going more towards the front of the car. So with this, I can actually adjust the pinion angle, adjust the lengths. I don't know how far, but since I have adjustment, it will be better. So I have these. The only thing is, this thing had the rear that I got these control arms off of had an anti-squat kit, and the Heim spacers are a little too narrow for the actual brackets. So I'm gonna just make some stuff work. I'm gonna find some really thick washers or multiple washers just to fill the gap a little bit, even on both sides, so that it's even, because the spacer, as you can see, they're both the same size on each side. So if I find the same amount of washers on each side, like 2 or 3 or 4 on each side for over there as well, then we'll be centered on the rear and it'll be fine. So, but I think what I'm gonna do though for now is just get the rear in, because I wanna get it off the floor anyways, but also the sooner I can get this in there, the sooner I can put wheels on it, hook the brake lines back up, hook all that stuff up, and I can put the drive shaft on once I get the trans in. So I also am just getting excited, so I just kind of want to get it in there ASAP. So I think I'm going to go ahead and throw this rear in. Now that I got all this, I think what I will do also, even though it's already rusted, I think I will just hit some of these spots that I see, just to spray paint it, just to give it a little bit of prevention, even though it's already pretty much shot. But, you know, why not, right? So, and I was thinking, if I have some, I don't think I have any frame rail connectors, but if I have some steel plates, I could run from this frame rail to this frame rail and basically make frame rail connectors and rock bars. So that way when it bottoms out, it doesn't go through our feet. So we'll see. But as you can see, obviously, got to put the trans back in. Not a big deal. I just did it in Sandy's car. It's basically the same thing. And yeah, so let's get this rear in. All right, so I have the rear laid up under the car. What I'm gonna do now is probably just set you guys up on the time lapse and just watch me fumble this thing by myself. So basically I got jack stands, I got a jack, and I'm gonna lower it down, put the top control arms on loosely, obviously, because you know we might have to do some adjusting and whatever. So I am gonna put them on loosely for now, just so I can see. Actually, before I do that, I just noticed what I wanna do is back these out as far as I possibly can with giving like a decent amount of engagement. So that's what I want to do right now. All right, so as you can see where the new threads are right there, I got about another 1/2 inch of adjustment, which is cool. So that's where I'm comfortable with stopping. There's a good amount in here. So I want to stop there because I don't want not enough threads in here and then it ended up ripping out and whatnot. So I'm good there, got it adjusted, and then we will get this thing up in there. All right, guys, so a little bit of an update. We got the springs in. What I did is I had these springs that are like replacement ones. They're thicker and stiffer springs, and they're actually taller than the coilovers and the coilover perch cup thing. So what I ended up doing was putting this spring on the coilover cup adjuster, like this little thing here, and I'm gonna raise this probably another inch or two just to get the full adjustment. As well, at least as much adjustment as I possibly can. You can see right here, this is a stock shock that is completely extended right now. And it's a good 3 or 4 inches away from the mounting point. And I really want the rear to be here or close to here. And it would be sick. So you can see the rear is a little forward, which isn't that big of a deal because, like I said, this thing's rusted. So what I'll do is I will just follow this and then just yeep, see you later. And yeah, the only problem that I might have is the drive shaft might be too close, but we'll see. I'm hoping it's not, but we will find out because I know they have like a decent amount of play already, so we'll have to see. But one step at a time. I also got the brake lines all hooked up. I'm gonna put some brake fluid in it and just pump them because why not? I mean, might as well do that. So all right, let's see what else we can get done. All right, guys, so basically I mounted a tire. It's a 245/65/17, and what's happening is it's actually hitting right here. So what I'm gonna do, like I said before, with this thing being rusty, I'm gonna cut it back to at least here and just see what kind of clearance we got after that. I'm basically just gonna cut it right here, come down, and just get rid of that little section to get the tire on there because I really wanna see this thing with some tires on it. So let's cut that. All right, well, I laid it down on the ground. Right now there's no shocks, it's just springs right now. And I mean, with the tires and the bigger springs, it's definitely raised it a good bit. I mean, probably every bit of 3 inches because you could see I had the front of the lift even and there's 3 more inches of space on the back. So I definitely want to go up higher. So I might have to trim a little more on this side. Not too much, but I think I got to trim another like inch out of the way of clearance. The other side's already trimmed and then work on the front. I really got to get the transmission in. I'm waiting until Wes gets here because Walter can't be lifting heavy stuff right now. So when Wes gets here, we're going to try to lift the trans and put it up in there, connect the drive shaft. But the way that this looks, I think we'll be all right with the drive shaft. So yeah, for sure. I mean, this is phase 1 and we'll see how well this does between you guys and how interested you guys are in this and how much fun we have really, because I mean, if we have a blast, we're gonna keep it. So we'll see what we're gonna end up doing with this thing. So let's get working on the front. All right, so I got the front shock out, and as you can see where I'm at right now, I'm already about an inch higher. And we had the, I had the idea, you just kind of agree with it. I'm gonna leave the stock spring in there.
It's not going to go over well, but it's going to be...
It's going to be stiff as shit.
Considering the amount of preload you put on.
Yeah, I put all of the preload on there, which, I mean, it is what it is. So I'm going to just see how it is. I mean, worst comes to worst, it's terrible, and I take the spring out. But I'm excited about this. It raises it an inch, maybe even more with the extra spring. Oh, yeah. So it's raised and it's fully drooped. It's not going to have any droop. So
let's see what she looks like.
Let's see. What are we doing, Mr. Mark? So my idea of having double springs is entirely too much. It makes it like rock solid, which I kind of figured, but you know, it's a good idea. You know what I'm saying? So basically we're gonna take the stock spring back out and then we're gonna rack this spring all the way up so that it's still stiff, but we got some wiggle room. So right now I'm working on getting the strut and knuckle loose so I can take the spring out. Which now that I'm looking at it, I need to take this control or caliper off so it doesn't rip this rubber hose. So that's what we're doing.
Still getting after the things and stuff.
Yeah, still doing things and stuff. Got the spring out. It was very sketchy. When I was pulling the spring, everybody scattered. They're like, nah, I ain't doing that. I'm out. Everybody went over and pointed and laughed at Alex while he was doing his windshield wipers.
We all got work tomorrow.
Did I tell you what he looked?
It's only 6 o'clock. What the fuck are you talking about?
I don't want to get hit by a spring and miss a paycheck day.
So last night,
You get paid?
he messed his wipers up, right? His wiper arms. And we were like, hey, look it up and see how you reset it. He looked up how to reset windshield wipers. And he was like, it's saying just to lift the arm and then pull it down. I'm like, you searched replacing windshield wipers.
Shit behind my back.
I'm not.
It's not behind your back.
Then it's not behind your back.
I made fun of you last night for it. Hey guys. What?
Talking shit behind your back, motherfucker.
Have you still not looked up a video as of right now?
I think we got it figured out. He just did it backwards.
Yeah, he figured out how to replace his windshield wipers.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Alex.
Alex, you're so cute. You want to join? Stop.
Michelle gonna be mad at you.
Yeah, cut that
I
out.
just cut it out.
Yeah, definitely cut it out.
I had to cut a couple things out of the other video too. Now it's time to get some brief news.
Holy shit, Dixon.
All right, guys, so we got the springs off the front, got all that back together. I went ahead and also got this side all done. I got to get a tire for this side. So once I get that, then we'll be able to actually sit it down on all fours. But the boys are here, and thank God they were, because I was getting very aggravated. The manifold bolts that bolt to the H-pipe were completely stripped. So for a solid, hour?
Yep.
Yeah, give or take an hour, maybe hour and a half, I was fighting these damn bolts. I ended up grinding them, chiseling them. Wes hit them with a torch, and we ended up getting them. So got that off, and then we got so excited that we went ahead, threw the transmission in. We got the drive shaft in. We are having a couple little issues, though, with the drive shaft because it's raised, because it's lifted, and the drive shaft is actually touching, it's really, really close to touching the trans. So we're going to have to adjust it to where the rear is further back. Now, whether that's I cut the control arm and extend them a little bit just to move it back or whatever that is. So, but that being said, I'm going to try to get all the bolts and stuff for the trans, everything hooked up, everything plugged in, because I'd like to start this thing. We do still have to do the gas tank. So once we do the gas tank, then we can start it. So let's finish this up. All right, so before we put the other gas tank in, I actually never did try to start this to verify that the fuel pump is bad. So we're gonna hook a jump box up real quick and see if it cuts on, because if that's one less thing we gotta do, then that's sick. So I'm gonna put this jump box on and see what it does. I don't hear no fuel pump. I definitely don't hear a fuel pump at all, because the key's already on. But I guess we should crank it at least, yeah? Hang on. Let me move all this stuff.
Nah. Fuel pump bad.
I heard something go ping.
Hold on, listen.
Listen, Carlos, do it again.
That's up front.
Oh.
It's a weird.
Come on, fuck. We're about to change the tank right now. We'll skip to the next theme. Peace. You might, huh? What do you say? What? We both could. Loser and winner.
I'm all for that.
I'm allergic to condoms.
Me too.
You're so $30. All right.
All right, let's get
Are we doing like bare fisted, or are we doing with the glove? Why am I bent over like this?
I don't know. But
Let me do it in a cooler position. How you want to throw these hands?
Why don't we just skip the hands and fuck each other in the ass?
No, because I just kind of want to fight and then do it.
This is getting weird.
I know, we've gone too far.
alrighty, so we got the other gas tank put in. That gas smells great, so we're definitely gonna pour that into a gas tank and then end up pouring it back in here. So now I'm gonna lower it back down and see if this bad girl starts, because I'm excited. It's gonna be loud. We haven't got the exhaust on yet, and we gotta figure out the exhaust. So let's lower this down and see if it starts.
Wes, grab the camera.
All right, so that's there. You want to take?
If you want me to take, I take it. You know, I put the camera and then you make the camera sexy.
It's already making a do in the 6.
Yes. 6.
All right. What do you think? You think it's gonna start? It should, because
I think you prime it a few times, it'll probably start.
first off, let's see if it makes any noise. Oh, I heard it that time.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's doing it. What do you think? 3,
Give it
4,
like 1 or 2 more and then
4,
try to fire it off.
5. You ready?
6, do 6.
Yeah! Hell yeah! Did I hit it one time?
Fuck yeah, dude.
I don't know if there's oil in the motor.
That's alright, we're good. At least we know.
Hell yeah!
Fired right up.
I'm excited. Are you excited?
Dude, we're about to tear it up.
We are. We gotta find some seats for the front. We ain't putting carpet in it.
Nah.
We're gonna drain some plugs.
Yeah, take
Put
the
some
drain
plug-
plugs
put the drain
out,
plugs
carpet out.
Yeah, dude.
That's what I like.
Hell yeah.
Sick.
All right, boys. So we got the H-pipe put on there. I need to go get some O2 sensor extensions. I think I actually have some, so I'm going to find those. Got the trans fluid put in and all that. We do got to do some rear adjusting and stuff so that we could kind of get some more wiggle room out of this drive shaft, because it's a little tight. So we'll have to think how we can get some extension. I might have to call a buddy of mine, see if he could maybe extend these control arms out a little bit, sleeve them and stuff, whatever. We'll figure that out. But slowly but surely getting there. So, but the boys just left. I'm about to go home, get some sleep, and we'll pick back up on this tomorrow. All right, guys, so it's a new day. We're back working on the Mustang. But before I started today, I wanted to change some things in the shop. Something very short, something very subtle and small, but huge to me. So I took one of the flags down and I hung some pictures up of when my grandfather had the towing business. So I actually remember this old truck right here. We had it when I was real little. It still ran. It was not in that condition, obviously, but we had that one. I don't remember having this one. I think this was before me. And then that's the man, the myth, the legend right there. That's my grandfather right there. So he's the one that started the towing business, and then my dad took it over from him, and now I'm working on taking over from my dad. So my grandfather, you know, him and my dad showed me how to drive a stick in the international tow truck, which is pretty cool. So, but I just wanted to show you guys that in case anyone was like, oh, you hung new pictures. Well, that's what the pictures are, and they mean a lot to me. So hung them up, and we're going to get working on this thing. So I got some washers for the rear control arms because the spacers are a little off like I showed you guys earlier. So I got some washers to kind of just fill that, just to get this thing bolted in. We still got to tweak some things and finalize some things, but as you saw last night, we got it running, and we're really stoked. Wes is actually going to go to his house, and he's got some tires, because unfortunately, I only have 3 of these, so I don't have a matching set. I don't really need them to match. I just at least want the 2 fronts and the 2 rears to match, and then we can keep whatever other ones to have as spares. So he's going to run home, I believe, today or tomorrow, grab the tires, and then we can put them on here. So unfortunately, I'm not going to have all 4 mud tires. I could put this one on, but it's just way too big for the car, at least at the ride height we're at right now. So unfortunately, I think I'm just going to put the 2 stock wheels in the front, have some crazy rake going on, and then that's it. So for now, the back will be lifted. I'm going to put these spacers on and tighten the rear down, and I'm going to try to back this thing out of here today. All right, guys. Well, it is outside. So unfortunately, though, the transmission's not engaging. I think for whatever reason, either something's out of line for sure, whether it's the drive shaft is not engaging or the clutch isn't engaging with the trans. Something's happening, so we're going to have to pull it back out. But as you can see, I got the tires on this side looking sick, and then this side I just got some random tire just kind of similar to it, but it's looking pretty damn cool. So I'm pretty excited with this. I got to do some stuff with the interior. I am going to be changing some door panels and stuff like that because I can make some money off this, but just had that seat laying in there, so I could have backed it out, but we ended up having to push it. So either way, so it's coming together. It came together pretty quick. We have some ideas and some things we're going to do still with this. I actually did come up with a name for it because I don't really name cars and stuff, but this one just seems fitting to do. So me and Wes were talking last night about maybe, now don't hold me to this, but we were thinking of doing the trip that we do decide to do with this, all with just change that we have like saved in jars and stuff we find in the car and stuff that's in our trucks. And basically that put an idea in my head to name the car Spare Change. Especially if it's going to have mix match colored panels, I think it would be perfectly fitting. It's kind of backwood, redneck, whatever you want to call it. I think it's kind of cool. So let me know down in the comments what you guys think. But we're going to have to pull it back in, figure out the transmission thing. It's not going to be hard. We're just going to figure it out. I'm not going to record doing that whole thing again because it just is what it is, and figure out some kinks. So let me know what you guys think about this. If you hate it, let me know because we will scratch it and throw it away. But if you love it, you want to continue to see it, then let me know. I mean, either way, we are going to do the off-roading in it. But if you don't want to see a lot of it, just let me know. You know, if you hate it, you hate it. If you love it, you love it. So let me know down in the comments. But that's going to be it for this video, guys. If you could like, comment, subscribe, that'd be sick. And stay tuned because things are going to get wild.